Good evening. I wanted to talk to you about written responses. These assignments will happen throughout the semester, and they're pretty, I just want to go over kind of the basics, which are pretty similar for all of the assignments. Every assignment will have its own instructions, so make sure that you read those carefully. And I always start out with the purpose so you know why we are working on this particular assignment. I'll go through the instructions, and basically the general format of an assignment will begin with the summary, which will should not have a lot of emphasis. I don't need a play-by-play of the readings. I want you to talk about them in more broad general terms, and so I'll give you usually a couple of questions to help facilitate your thinking on those. So that section is the summary section, and then I want you to think about your understanding of this material. So again, I'll give you some prompts, but that section usually gives you the opportunity to weave in information that maybe you've learned in other classes, or maybe you've learned in your experience in the healthcare system. And so that gives you a time to kind of chew on the information, maybe ask some of your own questions, talk about how you struggle with the material. And then finally, the third section is takeaways. And this gives you an opportunity to share one or two things that you find really relevant with this information, and how you can use it maybe for this class or for your future schoolwork, or more importantly, for your future career. So that takeaway section is really important. I would like you to spend more time on the your understanding part. Kind of the middle section, or the middle amount of time you should spend on the summary, and then takeaways should be your shortest section. So the format, again, this is a college level class where you should be working on your writing. So I'll be looking for good grammar and well-constructed sentences. Your assignment should have a brief introduction and a brief conclusion. And when you name your assignment, make sure you use the title of the assignment and your last name. So for example, the first assignment is called Health. So if your last name was Smith, the document that you would call it would be Health Smith. Then that helps me keep track of everything. I've given you in the important stuff folder, I've given you a sample of the format that I would like. You need to have your name, the course, and the assignment name in the top left-hand corner. I want you to use 1-inch margins and 12-point font, and single space. I know this drives a lot of my students crazy, so there's nothing that says you can't type it double-spaced, and then before you submit it to me, have it on single-spaced. I do single-space because I do a lot of grading on my tablet, and it makes it just a little bit easier for me to read and get through everything. So I want things single-spaced. These assignments should be about a page in length, unless otherwise noted. It can be a little bit more, it can be a little less. But if it's always less and then gets shorter and shorter, then I'll be taking points off for that. So I will be posting a grading rubric as well, which simply says, it just illustrates the 3 sections, and then how I am weighting those. So the first couple, usually my students struggle a little bit more with the first couple, until they get used to my grading style and get used to the format. So there's a lot of points to be had this semester, so don't worry if your first couple are a little bit lower than your expectations. There's plenty of time to improve. Thank you so much.